It's Monday morning. We're live. I'm trying to get signed in so I can see comments. For some reason, it's not loading. There's nobody here. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so it's Monday morning and we are live. It is really kind of chilly outside. It's a comfortable chilly, not a horrible chilly. And um I am it's supposed to get in the 80s again this week, but we had free freeze warnings over the weekend, so everybody's trying to get their tomatoes off the vines and kind of, I guess, prepare for fall and winter. And our house is still being painted, so I think that by the time it's finished, I won't be able to hang up my hanging pots anymore. So we're gonna start just getting everything ready for winter. And it's always kind of sad to put all of that stuff away, but it also does kind of free up a little bit of time in the fall season because I don't have to spend all that time watering and all of that. But and snow in the winter, Rob has to spend a considerable amount of time plowing typically when he gets home from work. Not plowing like for business, just plowing our property. So um, it doesn't necessarily free up time for him if we have a considerable amount of snow. But anyway, so I I was kind of looking at my motivational quote for this week because I had forgotten about that for a few weeks. And I thought I would share a post about taking risks and share a quote about taking risks. And um, basically, the quotes that I had come up with about taking risks was that they were all something to the effect of um, taking a life without risks is no life at all, basically. And that the key to success is taking risks. And, I'm going to say that I'm sort of risk averse in many ways. I really try to overthink absolutely everything and um take my time on a lot of things. And I don't take a lot of risks with my business as far as like taking a lot of debt or doing things like that because I value it too much to risk losing it because I've worked too hard and it's basically been obviously the favorite job of my life. Um and also because I am, always striving for some sort of security. I think that that's just an inherent thing in many women, anyways, at least in my experience. But particularly for me, because I did have such um, uncertain beginnings, my childhood was not stable at all. So, as an adult, everything in my being, whether it's conscious or not, has been to create security, be comfortable. But, as we know in life, nothing is guaranteed, nothing is like really comfortable. And, there's always some sort of change up, right? I mean, we know this, we're not in control of so many things, but I try if it's in my capabilities to do that as much as possible. But this last week, I took a big risk and um, pitched myself to a company, and I have a meeting with them on Thursday to see if we can make some sort of a deal. And I've never put myself out that huge before, honestly, and the thing about it is that if the deal doesn't go through, it's not going to be a make or break or, anything like that. I've been limping along the way that I have with what I have, and it's not going to um, kill me to get rejected. I get rejected all of the time. I think a lot of people probably don't realize how much designers get rejected for things. Because we have to put ourselves out all of the time to pitch designs to fabric companies or distributing companies or magazines or like whatever area that we're working in, it's just a part of the job. So I don't ever get really discouraged about being rejected. Um, that's par for the course. And I always just think, well, if I get rejected, then I'll just keep working and at some point a door is going to open. And I always believe that it was the same when I started designing patterns. I had knocked on doors and people had told me, well, how many Instagram followers do you have? How many, of this do you have? How many of that do you have? Like, what are you doing to help build all of that? And so it was basically um, a way for me to say, okay, I'll go build my Instagram and I'll go do this thing, I'll make my way here and I'll do this. So, um, I appreciate when I get some sort of constructive criticism or pointers or something like that so I know how to improve. And then, I can fix those things, work my way up, and figure it out. So, um, so taking risks is not like what anybody is comfortable doing most of the time. I should say that there's like probably people who love, like one of my brothers is an adrenaline junkie and he'll, take a risk and do things and whatever, but I am not one of those people. So I um just think I'll just work harder and I'll figure it out and I'll make my way to where I'm going to be, and maybe I don't know the pathway to get there, but I'll get there eventually is just really my determination. I have had that really my whole life, and um so I just think it always works out the way that it's supposed to. And so the other thing today is that the first block of Nature Walk has dropped on the channel. And Nature Walk, I've talked about this many times, is my 500th pattern, and I've been publishing a lot lately too. I'm trying to get some of the quilting done, and I have to get some photographs done. But such a huge accomplishment, and I just wanted to share that with you. So the digital pattern is $5. Even if you can't get to it now, I would just, go get it and then you'll always have it. And all of the videos for each of the blocks will stay on my channel. So you can always reference back to them. But there's a lot of different techniques and things in that pattern. And it's just, really a fun pattern. And I really love it. So um, a new video will drop every day, daily. I want to say there was 12 videos. And I think I did take a break for one of the Sundays. So basically for the next 2 weeks, I'll be dropping a video daily, for Nature Walk, and you'll be able to see how I constructed all of those blocks. It's really a lot to cut out. So when you first see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness." But I put there's labels in the pattern so that you can, lay out all of your piles, have them organized, and it after you kind of spend that evening cutting it out, it really does go together much more simpler than you might think. So just be aware of that. It does take some time to cut out. So, and good morning, Lady D, Venetia, Lynn, and I'm so glad you got the quilt, Lynn. That's good. So, other than that, what this weekend was, I did not get as much done as I wanted to get done. We had my son and daughter-in-law came over. We're working on baby shower stuff, and my husband was helping my son with his car, and we had company come from Portland to deliver a machine to me. And then yesterday, Sunday, we go to church, and most times we have lunch with some really good friends of ours. And so by the time we get home, it's afternoon, and um, we had to go to Tractor Supply to get some things, and they've already started taking out their Christmas decorations. And it's just, I hate going into Tractor Supply. And I say that only because they have so many cute things, all of their chicken things, and I just like have to like close my eyes, walk through, get what I need, and then get out of there. Because if they don't have baby chicks, then they have all of these chicken things, and my yard is like looking like a crazy chicken lady. So, but they had such cute Christmas stuff, and I was really tempted to buy some things, but I didn't because I don't we're running out of places to store things. My husband built a shop across from the barn last summer, and right now it's like basically storage, which is pretty sad. I feel bad for him. But his mom passed away, and we sold her house, so all of her stuff is in our shop. And so we have to really go through stuff and kind of make some donation piles, and we're going to sell some things and whatnot. So, anyways, we um, just, until we get everything sort of organized, get the rest of our house unpacked because we still have to, like, build our family room, and, all of that. We do one area of the house at a time so that we can renovate it and then unpack. So we've been here 2.5 years, and we still haven't unpacked all of our stuff because all of the renovations that are going on. So we have house painters that are working on the weekends to paint the house, and it's just looking so great. We put the shutters up on the front of the house, and it just made such a huge difference. I can't believe the difference that it made. I knew that it would, enhance it in some way, but it just really, I don't know, it did something really fabulous to the front of the house. And I think I've been trying to go back and forth of what I'm going to do with my garage door, that the attached garage door. And I'm thinking I might paint it the same color as the shutters because I just really like how it turned out. So we'll see. We'll figure that out. And but now we're in a race against time because fall is coming. But we also got the last bid on our roof, and so we're hiring that guy to do that. So basically, we're in a race against time to get all of the outside stuff done so that Rob can finish the mud room, and then he will work on our basement, which is going to be our big family room. And so that is his winter project to get done. And I'm going to be so excited because once the mudroom and the downstairs and family room are done, then everything will have been complete in our house. As far as like the inside, there's only one bathroom that needs to be redone, but it's functional and I'm not in a hurry for that because I don't have a vision for it yet. I I don't know. I think I need to maybe go to some place and like maybe take pictures and figure out like have them do something digitally to help me figure out a plan for it or something because I just usually I have a vision for what I want or how it should function and I just don't. So until I figure that out, I don't want to like rip anything apart because want to be happy with the finished results. So um that's what we have there. So um and Lynn says, what color are you painting? And we're just painting everything white. But the shutters are like a midnight blue color. So so yeah. And then Christy says, good morning. Understand the process. We are Louisiana and bought a complete remodel house, living in it as we go, room by room. It is so difficult. I don't want to go through this again. Honestly, I think it's too hard on me mentally. Um, just because living in the chaos is so hard. I mean, it for me anyways. I mean, I think some people can handle it way better than I do, but for me it's just really crazy. Once the barn was done, it really was great because I could go somewhere where there was order. And so I can take a break from the house to get away from the chaos of everything that is always going on there. And, we live on a dirt road, and most people pay to have, it oiled or whatever they do. They put some chemical down so that when people drive past, your house isn't like flooded with dust all of the time. And I paid for that the first year, which was a huge mistake because we're doing all of this construction on the inside of the house and there's just dust everywhere anyways. So the last couple summers, I have not paid for that because all of the chaos and remodeling and dust. So I also look forward to the time where I can, I don't know, ease up on the dust a little bit, thinking about how we live amongst all of that all of the time. But so yeah, it's just those little things that you appreciate and know and whatever when it's all complete. And the other reason I'll be so excited to have the family room done is because when our kids come over, we will have a place to go. So currently, my living room just isn't big enough for everybody because we have so many kids and whatnot. So, yeah. And good morning, Michelle. And um, happy morning, Bonnie Taylor. I don't know who that is. Anyways, okay. So, on top of that, this week I have to submit a bunch of designs to fabric companies. I've been getting swatches all last week to submit designs. Market is just around the corner. But I wanted to kind of just show you um, the panel of my Homestead holiday line. Isn't that so adorable? I'm so excited. I have to make a sample for market. but it came, uh, and I'm just so like excited, pleased. It's my first like collection that isn't a basic because I love my basics. But what I really love about Homestead Holiday is that it tells a story, right? I love when something can tell a story. And all of the pieces in my barn, I could have gone to IKEA and probably had this custom studio made for whatever, but I just couldn't do that because that just isn't what I want to be surrounded by. And I wanted all of these pieces to have, sorry. Ugh. I wanted all of my pieces to have history and a story. And even if I don't know the story, I have these vintage lockers for my cutting table that I do my demonstrations on for YouTube. And um, my ironing table is an old buffet, and I don't know where those came from. I bought them off of Facebook Marketplace and a store, close to me. But the table that my husband's grandmother had in her dining room for um, decades that he grew up with, the door from our first house that, my kids opened and closed many times that I couldn't get rid of when we remodeled our last house. And now it's a shelf to hold the cups for our tea and coffee in the studio. And just all of the things. I love being surrounded by these beautiful things that tell a story and remind me of something. All of the things behind me, on these shelves, um, if they're useful or whatever, but they're all gifts or something from somebody. And I love seeing those things because they remind me of the love and kindness of people within my circle. And I just love that. I don't want to be surrounded by things without meaning. And so when I think about my line of fabric, this Homestead Holiday collection, I love everything about it. The pink barn, the chickens, all of the chickens have names and they are representative of my chickens. And the blue tractor, my husband bought that the first summer when we lived here, and he, used that in the barn to like take down walls and move stuff out of the barn so that we could build this studio. And I've used it as a prop for pictures, and we've used it various times. It needs some work and he can figure that out, when he has time. But eventually they want to, use it for snow plowing and everything on our property. But um, the colorful trees, I don't ever think that there should be rules about how I color things in fabric or patterns. And several of my patterns have colorful trees, but the pink Christmas tree from last year, for those of you who have or have not been following along, I ordered a pink Christmas tree off of Amazon and I just wasn't sure if it was going to be a good tree. I just thought, oh, I'll take a chance and order this artificial tree. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to do a live video and open it on social media to see if it's like really a good tree. Because if it was, sometimes you take a risk by ordering those things and then you're so sorely disappointed when you open it and that's what it is. But I opened it and I was so pleased with how great it was. Like I was like giddy with excitement about how great this pink Christmas tree was. It was kind of flocked a little bit and it had lights attached to it, and the lights were on like pink strings, and I was like so excited about it. And um then I thought, well, I'm going to have to go buy some decorations for this tree. And several people had asked, Charisma, can we send ornaments? Maybe just this first Christmas, we can decorate your tree for you. And, several of them said, you don't have to keep the ornaments or anything. And I am keeping them forever. I love them. I love the letters that came with them. And just probably, a short month, I'll be getting that tree out and all of those ornaments and putting them back on and remembering all of the kindness that all of you shared. And so I wanted to represent those pink trees in this line, which is the two pink trees next to the barn with the little ornaments on them. And um, the deer antlers on the barn. I live in Deer Park, and we are homesteaders. We um, have a certain way of life, and so there's that. And um, the mountains, the trees, the snow. We get a lot of snow. So we're in the snow belt. And then all of the little rainbow colored chicks, I just love those. They are scattered in between the bigger girls, and there's a print in the collection that has those little rainbow colored chicks. And um, I have opted to um always get like Easter egger chickens and chicks. And I do that because I love the surprise of when you get this, when my chickens hatch them, or, however, they always come out different, whether they're white or black or speckled or brown or, whatever. But you have this variety of chickens. But then, when they start laying eggs, if you see my basket of eggs, they're all different colors. We have green and we have blue and we have pink and we have brown and white. And I love everything about that. I love the surprises of all of those things. And um, so those rainbow colored chicks are like, those special adult surprises. And I love the whole process of when my chickens have babies. They're such good moms, and they are, I've learned so much about chickens during the process of all of that. And so, anyway, Homestead Holiday just tells this great story. And I love that my first line tells the story of the pink barn and some of our time here already. And so I have many patterns I've been sharing throughout the course of last week, and I'll be sharing them, of course, again. And in July of next year, I'll be doing a sew along with the block of the month one, and I'll have kits for everything in my shop when the yardage lands. And hopefully, your local quilt shop will pick up this line and some of my patterns. I would love everybody to have access to it, and and share the story of the little pink barn. So, um, let's see. Okay, and hi Rita, and thanks Lynn. And let's see. Okay, just want to make sure I'm caught up. So, and then you can also see, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see on these things, but see a close up. There's little chicken prints, footprints in the snow around the chickens, and I am just like totally in love with that. I love that. So let's see what else I have going on this week. I got to do a few more tutorials. I have to, well, I'm making my sourdough bread today. We've been, yeah, those are the big house projects. My work, of course, I have to do a bunch of quilting. And what else? I feel good because I'm home I get to be home until the last week of October, I believe. but I am teaching some workshops at the Spokane Quilt Show, the WSQ Quilt Show. The 18th and 19th and 20th, I believe, is either the 17th, 18th, whatever that weekend is in October, is the Spokane Quilt Show. And so if you're local and or not local and but you want to go to that show, it's a great show. It's a big show. It takes place on the Spokane Fairgrounds, and they got some special grants to expand the show. So this is their first year that they're offering classes. And so I think they'll be able to expand it a lot next year, with planning in mind to have more instructors and whatnot, which I'm really excited about. I think that it's such a nice show, and we have good parking, and it's, close to I should say there's, access to hotels and, all of those things. So I think that this is a really great opportunity to put this show on a bigger map for everybody to come visit. And and plus it's close to my home, so I get to sleep in my own bed, which is really exciting. And I get to see some of my friends. So I'm, very excited about that as well. So but so I have that, and then getting my samples made, and just trying to get everything caught up for market, and I'm throwing a baby shower for my daughter-in-law, and just good things. We just have so many good things, so many good blessings, and all of the fall is like really one of my favorite times of year, with the weather cooling down, all of this stuff happening here. And, we have the apple harvest and all of the good smells and feelings that come with all of that. And I don't know, I don't, we have so many good things to look forward to. It's a good time to start writing our thankful list, right? Of, November being thankful month, and all of the good things that we have coming through the course of that. So, oh, and Rita says that she's requesting our fabric. Good. And you're planning to go to the Spokane show? That would be great. Just let me know, and I will I can send you a list of the classes too if you wanted to sign up for some classes. I think there's like 8 instructors or something like that. So I can do that. I've been sharing the link if you wanted to register. There's a lot of great instructors. I know that Heather Black is one of them, and of Quiltachusetts. I had her on my YouTube last week to do curves. She really does a lot of curved piecing, and she's kind of a master at that. So, what else to discuss here? I guess I would be interested to know what other story you would like me to tell via fabric. I am working on my 4th collection, which is a basics collection, and I'm pretty excited about that. Um, but what other kind of story would resonate with you that you would buy fabric for? So I'm curious about that, because I um, obviously I have a lot of ideas about a lot of things, but sometimes having a prompt really helps um, kind of spur up some creativity and okay. Oh, so then with all of that going on, let's see what else. Oh, the story of telling fabric. And um I had thought about doing, this is sort of a winter scene, maybe doing different seasons of this kind of panel, like showing the pink barn and different seasons. and see how we can develop that. So I think that might be fun. But I really just love the winter scene so much that who knows how we develop that. But um, so other than that, I think that I'm hoping that I have really good news next week, and I have a meeting scheduled. And so again, the motivation for this week is to take calculated risks, right? There's no success without risk, and that um a life lived without risk isn't a life lived, right? Like we have to put ourselves out there. We have to take risks. We have to um every once in a while just take that leap of faith. And it is hard. It's really hard to do that sometimes, but um I wouldn't have had all of this without that. And so a no is just a way to reevaluate and figure out how to make that no into a yes. And so I think I'm going to leave you all with that today. I need to go get some more chores done, get dinner prepped for this evening, and just kind of figure out the rest of my week. And I hope you all have a good week, a good Monday. Thanks for joining me here today. I really appreciate all of the kindness and support that all of you give to me. And I am anxious to hear all of the input that you have in the story that you would want me to tell through fabric. And until next week, bye.